picture-perfect accurate with that, and he was slightly open there on the double move, but he kind of sailed it on him, did Young. And again, though, it's not the worst thing in the world. You'd rather overthrow that than underthrow it potentially for an interception.
So that gives Portage another chance here. 2nd and 8, 10-17 to go here. There's a man in motion going right. He hands it off, and the Bulldogs swarm on that one as it was Marshall getting the handoff in motion. He was brought down by a host of Bulldogs.
Yeah, Marshall tried. It was a jet sweep. Tried to get that ball quickly to the outside. Tried to run right outside the right tackle, and a host of Bulldogs were out there. The outside linebacker was the first one to get to him. That was Trevor Gibbs, right there for the tackle.
3rd and goal from the 5. Portage trying to strike here. Looks like they will take a timeout just to go over some procedure here. You want to make sure you're perfect with this opportunity, so we will take a break here. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel building better together. We're here with 9:45 to go here as Portage has the ball at 3rd and 5. Crown Point backed up in their own territory. Young has a running back to his right, 2 receivers split out right, 2 to the left. Young takes a snap, he's looking, throws it, and it's complete. Touchdown Indians. Portage strikes first. JoJo Mabin hauls in the grab for 6.
Yeah, nice. Young kind of motioned Mabin in there, maybe to give a little bit better leverage there on the route. Just ran a little slant off the play action, and a great throw by Young to fit it in there. It wasn't bad coverage by the Crown Point defensive back, but a great throw and a great catch by Mabin.
Yeah, and the pump fake helped just a little bit to freeze that defensive back, and boy, there was not much room in there to get that score.
And the snap on the PAT is high. The Bulldogs swarming there, taking away the extra point as the holder had to just kind of scramble around looking to make something out of nothing there, but he was unable to. So that will result in 6 points with 9:39 to go here. Portage is ahead as you're watching Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Update your kitchen or bathroom with Von Tobel. Get 20% off select cabinets now through October 28th. Von Tobel has cabinets and vanities in a range of styles and colors. Plus, built-in storage, countertops, and flooring. Our designers will help you find the perfect selections for your style and budget. Scan to visit vontobels.com today to book your free consultation at one of our 4 Indiana showrooms. Von Tobel. Building better together.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel, your local building, material supplier, and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more. So we're getting ready for this. This is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated.
It looks like Portage got that.
Fumble. Portage special teams have yourselves a night. They force another fumble on the kick, and that's recovered near the 10-yard line.
It looked like number 5, Jacob Jones, bobbled that one, got away from him, and great job by the Portage coverage team to track that down. I wasn't able to see the number, but he barely got that before he was able to go out of bounds. He was sprinting down there to get that ball, and 2 huge special teams plays by Portage to start this game.
So with 9:39 to go here, Portage setting up for their second offensive possession. Crown Point's offense has not touched the ball yet. Young takes his troops back on the field after they just put up 6 on the board. He hands it off to a receiver. He's in motion, brought down by a pair of Bulldogs. Trying to move the chain just a little bit there. Looked like he had Fields in motion. And
yeah, Trevor Gibbs on the tackle. He blasted right into the backfield. No gain on the play. He's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. So they can get a first down on the 1.
Portage setting things up again here as we're approaching the 9-minute mark. For a young Indians team that has taken their lumps on the season, they're trying to get to a big start against a daunting opponent. Young takes a snap, pitches out to his right. Patterson charges forward, but the Bulldogs get their way into the backfield to bring him down.
Yeah, it looked like 49 Logan Rodriguez on the Crown Point defense, completely unblocked. They tried to go a little toss to the outside, but he's the outside linebacker on that side, and you got to get him when you're running that way, and completely free for a tackle for loss.
Yeah, he did a nice job just maintaining his outside position and just made a great tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Portage has it at the 12-yard line, 8:34 to go here in the first quarter.
And we saw them with kicking issues on their PAT, so this might be 4-down territory.
Young takes a snap. There's a flag on the field.
It's going to be 3rd down and 15. Looks like a little legal procedure on the Indians.
So some more pre-snap problems from Portage. That'll back them up 15 here. Probably putting this in. You mentioned, Rick, that it's 4-down territory, but this is still probably most likely a passing play. You'd have to think here.
I would think, I think their first drive, they actually had some success trying to throw the ball deep. They've got some receivers with some height on the outside. Maven's got some speed. So I would expect them to try to get one of those guys on a one-on-one matchup here, but probably in the end zone, because then if you don't get it, then you're getting a first down at the 1-yard line anyway.
Young with a running back to his right. He's got trips left. Maven split out right. He's looking for Maven. Lofts it in the air to the front corner of the end zone. That's a few feet in front of him, bouncing off the turf for an incompletion.
Yeah. Number 10 for the Crown Point Bulldogs, Jalen. I didn't write out his last name. It was Jalen.
Jalen Kelly.
Jalen Kelly slipped. He ran a post. He ran a post corner route, and the defense back slipped. He was wide open. All he had to do was just float that out there. It would have been 12-0 Indians.
They got what they wanted, a one-on-one matchup. He ran a perfect route, but just floated on Young there again.
So 4th and 15 from the 16. Young throws it right, but that is high and incomplete. So he missed his man there. He was in coverage, and the Bulldogs get a big 4th down stop, sending Portage away without getting any points from the red zone. So let's meet the starters for the Crown Point offense. It's time for tonight's starting lineup, sponsored by Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group, they're here to help. Action, not words. Split out at receivers will be Cam Sorchi, Landon Delich, Nick Soley. The big tight end, Seamus Molaski. In the trenches, it'll be Elias Paviadakis, Jeff Machete, Nathan Gregory, Austin Rivera, and Paul Clark. In the backfield, it'll be Noah Ehrlich and Larry Ellison. That was your starting lineup for the Crown Point offense for tonight's matchup, brought to you by our friends at Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group continues to be recognized by U.S. and World Report as a top law firm, as Ehrlich takes a snap and hands it off to his receiver, who rolls right. Advance the ball just a little bit.
Yeah, it was Jones there on a little fake end around, and I like the play call there from Crown Point because Roy Richards' defenses are known to be very, very aggressive, very attacking. So get him a little bit of a flow going one way thing, and then get him coming back the other way with the misdirection. I like that.
Yeah, Coach Richards is one of those guys. He'll throw the kitchen sink at you.
Mm-hmm.
2nd and 3 for Crown Point on the Portage 23. Ehrlich in the gun. He's got Ellison to his right. They put their tight end in motion. Ehrlich takes the snap, hands it off to Ellison, who rumbles forward, looking for the chains. Not by a couple hard hits, but he fell forward there.
It's going to be close. The officials have not signaled for the first down yet. 3rd down and 1 for the Bulldogs. If you notice that the Crown Point has got 4 down linemen and have walked the linebacker up to the outside as well. So they almost like a 50 front.
Portage trying to stack things up front as Ehrlich's in the gun. Ellison to his right. They put Mulaski in motion. Ehrlich takes the snap, and Ellison's going to keep it. He just pushes forward. There's a swarm on the field. The Bulldogs trying to push him forward to move those chains.
That first down is brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Hey, let's get to some of those Portage Indians playing some defense out there.
You said it, Jay. Let's meet that Portage defense in the trenches. They'll have Joe Raines, Everett McClelland, Jonathan Mister, Jager Pleasant, Jamari Duff. At linebacker, they'll have Mark Callenbeck, Evan Collins, Tayshawn Hayes, Adam Korba, Walter Megan, and Simon Marshall will round out the secondary. As Ehrlich awaits the snap, fakes the handoff to Ellison. He's dropping back to pass. He flings it out to his right. He connects with Delich.
I would guarantee that Crown Point is going to come back to that play because number 8 ran a crossing route across the field, and he was wide open. Nobody covered him. Again, Coach Richards likes to run cover 0. That's straight man, no help, deep, or anything. And if you get busted coverages, that means a guy is running wide open with nobody covering him, and that's what happened right there. I guarantee Crown Point will come back to that play again.
Yeah, they're not going to miss much, that offensive coordinator
No,
staff.
I saw the coaches already pointing to it on the sideline.
So Ehrlich takes the snap, Ellison gets the snap. He rumbles to his left, fake the pitch to Ehrlich. So a little bit of a misdirection snap to the halfback. He takes it left and moves the chains for another first down.
That first down is brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville.
Yeah, close to the snap there, Ehrlich and Ellison kind of shifted over, allowed Ellison to be behind center, faked a toss to Ehrlich, again some misdirection, testing that Portage defense, and he gained a big chunk of yardage there for a first down.
Yeah, again, like you said, that Portage defense very, very aggressive.
It's another snap, and he pushes forward. Looked like that was another snap to Ellison as there was some pushing and shoving going downfield, and there's going to be some laundry on the turf now as flags were thrown after the whistle.
We'll let the officials call this one. I couldn't tell which person was shoving further afterwards.
That's one of those plays where sometimes if you're might not be the one that starts it, but the first one that referee sees, you're going to draw that flag.
That's always the second guy in, right?
Right. And he always claims he's not the one that started it.
Going to be a Crown Point first down here after that penalty. And again, Portage, you can't have those types of penalties going against a team like Crown Point. You got to be super disciplined. You got to play your best tonight if you want to win.
Crown Point's offense has been lighting up scoreboards all season. Ehrlich at quarterback's thrown for 865 yards coming into this contest for 8 touchdowns. Larry Ellison has had 4 100 rushing yard games for 503 total yards on the field and 10 touchdowns.
That penalty brought you another first down by Four Seasons Mechanical.
So Ehrlich and Ellison in the backfield. They put a receiver in motion. Ehrlich fakes the handoff. He's met by a defensive lineman in the backfield, but he floats one downfield, and it just barely incomplete. He was looking downfield for Trevor Gibbs. Just couldn't quite connect.
Yeah, Ehrlich needed to float that one out just a little bit more. He did have the defensive back beat by about a yard, but he just sort of underthrew it, had a little bit of pressure in his face, and wasn't able to step into it.
I mean, Portage had a guy coming clean in, unblocked. Portage is being super aggressive on defense, blitzing. They've got 5-6 guys on the line of scrimmage. Crown Point's responding with a couple tight ends on their line of scrimmage as well. So Portage taking away the run, but Crown Point's committed to going with the run still.
So the Bulldogs set up for 2nd and 10 here. Ehrlich's rolling right, pump fakes, throws it, and he finds Mulaski downfield. Mulaski has the 10, 5, goal line, touchdown Bulldogs. So they knot things up at 6. Noah Ehrlich connects with his tight end, Seamus Mulaski, for a strike for Crown Point.
Yeah, what a nice job. Noah Ehrlich, sort of a bootleg. At first he was going to flip it out to the running back as he had faked to the running back. Running back was covered, looked for Mulaski crossing the field, wide open, and he doesn't run in, he rumbles in.
Yeah, nice job by Ehrlich, taking his second read in the progression. He wanted to go to the flat to start, hit Mulaski again. Portage likes to play that cover 0, and sometimes on play action, somebody bites too hard, leaves a guy like Mulaski wide open.
So Oliver Brewer's point after attempt is up and good. That puts the Bulldogs ahead 7-6 with 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network with locations in Valparaiso, Schererville, and Michigan City. Check out vontobel.com to find out more. After that touchdown, we'll get ready for another Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. The kick from Brewer is deep, received by the Indians, and they're going to try to take it out. He's still pushing forward. So that was Roberts trying to put his team in good field position, but the Bulldogs did a good job of flocking to the ball to get to him. And now let's get to those starting lineups for the Portage offense. It's time for starting lineups sponsored by Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group, they're here to help. In the trenches, it'll be Xavier Anderson, Elijah Soraya, Richard Vega, Gavin Hernandez, Christian Partlow. Receivers for the Bulldogs will be Roberts, Mabin, Andrews. Running backs will be Fields, Marshall, and Patterson, and Cody Young will be the quarterback. That was your starting lineups for tonight's matchup brought to our friends at Gladish Law Group. Young takes a snap, throws to his right, connects with Young.
Young successfully knocked it down.
He
ran a nice little speed out there. He was open. The ball hit him right in the hands, but you got to complete the catch before you start thinking about what you're going to do after the catch, and I think he was getting a little ahead of himself there.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about the Indians. They come out, they get that opening score, then they get the following kickoff, a fumble. They got to have, for them to win tonight, they got to have a perfect game.
It's all about controlling some of those emotions, too, after those kickoffs. As Young takes a snap, hands it off, and his running back, Marshall's just going to move forward, trying to get that first down. Gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards there.
Yeah, the Crown Point defense has been really stout this year against the run. I want to say they're averaging giving up about 2 yards per carry to opposing teams running the ball, which is really impressive. So running the ball against them, especially up the middle, I think is a no-go almost.
Yeah, if you want, you're really close. It was 1.8 yards.
Young in the shotgun. As a running back to his left, 3 receivers split out left. He's looking left, and he gets it over. And now it's dropped, fumbled. The Bulldogs pick it up off the carpet. They have plans for 6, bringing it in for a touchdown. Crown Point, Will Clark grabbing it, taking it in for a touchdown. Bulldogs making it 13-6 here with 4:39 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, playing a little loose with the football there. He tried to make a spin move to the outside, had the ball in one hand, and it was out, and he just dropped it. It wasn't even a forced fumble. He just dropped it because he was playing with it way too loose. And great job by Will Clark, not only to scoop it up, but to have the wherewithal to keep his head up and keep running all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, he looked like a running back out there. They may have some possibilities of moving him to the offense. Allison's better start worrying about that.
I don't know if they even need him on offense.
So Brewer gets ready for the snap. His point after attempt is up and good, putting the exclamation point on that touchdown. Crown Point now leads 14-6. As we will hit another break. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professional in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel building better together. And this is another Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are sponsored by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. And that kick is picked up near the 1 yard line. The Indians may be in trouble here as they just step out of bounds.
He thought the ball was going to roll into the end zone. It was one of those 50-50 propositions. And it looked like one of my 9-iron shots from about 110 yards that hit and spun straight back to him, and he had no choice but to pick it up.
Yeah, it was a perfect kick by the Crown Point kicker, exactly where he wanted. It died on the 1 yard line, forced him to pick it up while the Crown Point coverage team had basically gotten by all the blockers from Portage at that point. And they're bad starting field position right now for Portage after 2 quick touchdowns by Crown Point. It's not what you want.
Portage backed up deep on their own 10. They'll have Young in the shotgun. He's going to roll left where he's got 3 receivers. He's looking for one downfield, and that one nearly picked off by the Bulldogs. Dominic Fanton diving deep and breaking that one up.
Yeah, there was 2 receivers sitting out in almost the same area, running 2 outs at different levels, but one was right behind the other. So a little bit of miscommunication, I'm sure, by the 3 receivers to that wide side there.
No, I was going to say the same thing, Jay. The spacing by the receivers was not good, and that's one of the most critical things in a passing game. And, this is still a young team, and the passing game is probably one of the harder things to refine. It takes a lot of reps, so we might be seeing some of that youth there.
2nd and 10 with 4:29 remaining here in the first quarter. Crown Point leads 14-6. Young awaits the snap. He takes it. He's looking deep to pass. Flings it to his left. He's looking for Maben. Maben hauls it in. Maben crosses the 50. He's got one man to beat. Maben is brought down hard by the Bulldogs. Good job getting back by Jones, erasing what could have potentially been another long touchdown. But Maben.
Yeah, Maben just ran a post route and blew right behind the man coverage, and nobody within about 3 or 4 yards of him. And Jones just comes out of nowhere and makes the tackle from the blind side. He did a nice job. He tried to do that little hammer around the ball, see if he could get the ball to pop out, but the receiver was able to hold on a huge gain right there for the Indians.
That's one you feel like they had to have, right? I mean, they needed something, a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of confidence to build.
Yeah, 62-yard pass play.
Longest play of the day for the Indians as Young takes a snap. He floats one deep right, looking for a completion of Maben, but he's broken up by Jones.
Yeah, nice pass coverage by Jones right there, step for step, timed the jump perfectly, and was able to just get in the way of the ball just a little bit just to distract the receiver.
Yeah, it was great coverage because it was a nicely thrown ball, and Maben has about a 3 or 4 inch height advantage on Jones, so he had to have perfect coverage, time his jump perfectly in order to knock that ball away.
So Portage has flipped the field from where they turned that kick. They have it at 2nd and 10 from the Crown Point 28. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Young takes a snap. He rolls right and just has to toss that one quickly. Finds his receiver downfield for a short gain. Like he found Patterson.
Looks like he's going to be just a yard short of that 4 seasons first down.
Nice job by Young. He had immediate pressure, but he was able to kind of do a little sidearm toss to the receiver and get a nice pickup there to make this 3rd and pretty manageable.
Yeah, little Mahomes right there.
a little bit.
3rd and 1 for Portage from the Crown Point 20-yard line. Young's in the backfield. He's got a running back in there with him. 1 receiver out right. He's got 3 to his left.
Yeah, he's got Fields to his left.
Roberts is the receiver split out right, and now there's a flag.
Delay of game.
Portage just waited a little too long as that play clock went down to 0, so that'll back them up. 3rd and manageable becomes 3rd and a little bit longer now.
Now, you don't know who to blame that one on. Do you blame it on the quarterback? Do you blame it on the offensive coordinator trying to signal in the play? It just looked like they were in disarray out there.
Yeah, you got a young quarterback. I think it's up to the coaching staff to be a little bit more on top of it, to be completely honest. Because that's a big one right there.
I'll make it about 3rd and 6 here for Portage. Young takes the snap. He has to toss it across the middle of the defense. He connects with his receiver, but a big hit there by the Bulldogs, being able to wrap him up and throw him down for a stop.
Yeah, I'm not, these numbers on Portage are so hard to see. 22 or 23, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll go with 22.
He made it was 22. He made a great catch, kind of climbing the ladder there. Young did a good job putting it only where the receiver could get it and moving the chains there where they really needed it after that bad penalty.
Yeah, don't forget that's another first down brought to you by Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning.
Young takes the snap belt high now. He's looking for the corner of the end zone, floats it up there, and it's broken up, throwing it into double coverage. Could not connect for a first down stop by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like Crown Point's starting to double Maben, and I think that's a good idea. He seems to be Portage's guy, and he does have a height advantage on the corners, so putting that safety to kind of shade on him, especially in this end zone, kind of the red zone area right here, I think it's a good idea.
Well, what I would do is put somebody pressed up on him, to have him to work to get off the line. If you give him make him work to get off the line, that just throws the whole timing to pattern off.
Young in the backfield. He's got 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Takes the snap, he's looking left. Going, and it's broken up. Good play there by Jones to swat that ball away and take away points from the Indians.
Yeah, Jones timed it perfectly. He got there just as the ball got there, so nice job of breaking that. It looked like the slant was open, but Jones got there at perfect time.
Again, nice pass by Cody Young. He's been pretty impressive here so far, in my opinion. I've seen him since last year. He started as a freshman. I got to call the Crown Point Portage game in the sectional last year, and he looks like he's progressed nicely into his sophomore year here.
So Young will now be in the backfield, hoping to put some points on the board for his team. He's looking left, pump fakes, pumps again, throws on the third time. That one's going to be broken up, and it's intercepted by Jones. Jones has some time to run. He crosses the 50, the 40, and he's brought down at the 25 by the quarterback, Young. Long interception, long return. Just like that, the Bulldogs have it in Portage territory.
Well, it figures as soon as I hype a guy up, he throws an interception, right? And, that's a young quarterback. That's a young quarterback mistake. He can't throw that. Jones is a senior. He's played a lot of football. We've been talking about his coverage all night. He's had the best coverage in this secondary. He played that one perfectly, kind of bided his time. He ran the route for the receiver, basically, and good job by Young to track him down because Jones is a burner. We saw him track down Maben there earlier, so we know he's got some speed. So good job by Young not to give up on that play and not to give up another defensive touchdown.
Yeah, it was an 80-yard return by Jones right there, and like you said, he just anticipated the route, and Young threw that one off his heels. He had a man right in his face.
So Ehrlich puts a couple tight ends in motion. He's got Ellison behind him, takes the snap. He's going to keep it, rolls out left. Ehrlich's got some room to move, dances forward for a positive play for Crown Point.
Yeah, I like that. They motioned to an unbalanced set, and then they ran read option towards basically the weak side of the formation where there was nobody, where Portage basically had nobody, but the Portage pursuit was good enough to minimize the damage, but a nice play call there by Crown Point getting it into a good formation.
So 2 minutes remain in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 5 from the Portage 14-yard line. Crown Point leads here 14-6. They put an end in motion. Ehrlich takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff to Ellison. Now he's looking to throw left. He finds his man downfield, and he's going to pound his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
That was Gibbs.
Trevor Gibbs playing some tight end, makes the reception, and he gets a physical run after catch for a touchdown, putting Crown Point ahead 20-6.
Well, what they did was they ran Seamus Molaski up the field. Gibbs sort of sat in there for a second or two, blocked, and then ran a delay crossing route with all the flow going one way, Gibbs going the other, wide open, and then he lowers a boom as he delivers the touchdown.
So Brewer gets ready for the point after attempt. The hold by Ehrlich. The snap. Kick is up and good. Make it 21-6 for Crown Point with 1:45 to go here in the first quarter. You're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges. Everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building a college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel, building better together. And we get ready for another Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are sponsored by Quintel Incorporated, specializing of the reconditioning, repair, and manufacturing of heat exchangers, as that's a booming kick deep. The Indians will return it. He's going to cut left, but the Bulldogs get there. He breaks one tackle, but the Bulldogs just doing a good job getting multiple red hats to the ball and bringing him down inside the 20.
A pack of dogs on that one.
Pack of Bulldogs there for the tackle. So Portage once again backed up deep in their own territory. They'll look to try to regroup after that interception and long return that they threw to Jones.
Well, you know, there is some positives to that drive, even though it obviously ended in a big negative. You got a big play to Maben there. You've kind of shown that on the outside, when you're not targeting Jones, because we've talked about him a few times, when you're targeting other guys on this Crown Point secondary, you might have some favorable matchups. So I would look for them to kind of go back to that. They can't be scared just because Young just threw a pick.
So the Indians back on the field. Young puts two men in motion. They go left, and they're going to try to hand it off and move up the left side of the line. Tumbling forward is the running back Marshall for a short gain there.
Yeah, you got to keep the defense honest. They've been passing a lot. I don't think they had one rush on that last drive. So you got to at least, make them respect the run. Even if the pass probably is your best weapon right now, you got to keep the defense honest.
Yeah, especially you're trailing by a lot, but if you abandon that run game this early, it's going to be hard to try to get it back.
Exactly. It's only the first quarter.
1 minute, 5 seconds left in the first quarter. 2nd and 7 from the Portage 24. Young moves two men in motion to his left. Takes a snap. Hands it off again. He's going to rumble forward, but the Bulldogs anticipated it. They are getting everybody the ball there for another stop.
Yeah, that's his great pursuit right there by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs defensively, we talked about it early on, is passing yards per game, 51 yards passing per game, and rushing 35. So defensively, they're only giving up 86 yards a game. And that's after 4 games.
Yeah, that's video game numbers, as they say. I mean, I don't think I've ever done that in NCAA football. I mean, that's really impressive. Their defense has been tough for anyone to move the ball on.
Crown Point 4-0 on the season. As we're about midway through here, they have been executing on both sides of the ball as Young takes a snap, looking left, tries to get it over, and he finds Roberts for a first down for Portage.
Yeah, this coverage from Crown Point is so soft, and the Portage receivers all have pretty substantial height advantage on the Crown Point DBs. They're just hitting them with posts right now. Young he's getting easy throws, rhythm throws, as they say. So I'm going to guess that Portage is going to keep going back to this until Crown Point starts playing some more press up coverage.
It's another Four Seasons Mechanical first down, brought to you by our friends at Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. And that is the end of the first quarter.
That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Through the first quarter, it is Crown Point 21, Portage 6. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, and everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
As Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel building better together. Cody Young gets ready for the snap. He takes it low, throws it to his right, connects with Maben. Maben's going to fight forward near the Crown Point sideline, and he is brought down by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just a simple little out route right there, wide open. Crown Point defensively, running defense is really good. Their passing defense, they're not getting into their drops. It looks like they're going man coverage. Nobody was out on the tight end right there, so just some soft coverage by the Bulldogs.
Well, we saw them get beat deep over the top by Maben a little bit earlier, and it seems like since then they've been playing really far off coverage. And maybe that sort of no doubles kind of, especially against Portage where you know they're going to have to hit big plays. So maybe they're just trying to keep everything in front of them, limit those big yardage gainers.
Young puts Fields in motion from right to left. Now he's looking to throw right. A little bit of a slower delivery, and that gave Drew Kroll a good chance to try to break it up, just rolling off his fingertips.
Yeah, Drew Kroll was the only one out there. There must have been a miscommunication between the wide receiver ran a streak pattern, and Kroll was the only one in the flat.
Yeah, and Young just stared him down, too. I mean, he didn't look at anybody. Then he flew through flat-footed. He's been showing flashes of brilliance, flashes of still being that sophomore young quarterback, still developing.
Getting ready for 3rd and 2. It's 66 degrees here in Portage and clear. That's the game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. 3rd and 2, Young hands it off, but the Bulldogs sending a whole crew there to bring him down in the backfield. That little sweep handoff there wasn't enough to fool the Crown Point defense there.
Yeah, number 99, Mark Gomez, was the first one there. After he made the initial contact, about 4 other Bulldogs jumped in.
Yeah, I like trying to go to the – if you're going to run the ball, I like trying to go to the outside. The problem was the play was way too slow to develop. It allowed the Crown Point defense just to pursue right to the ball and get to a tackle for loss.
So 4th and 5 from the Portage 45. Young is also their punter. So they move a man in motion, but it's going to be a quick kick as he gets this one up near the sideline. It drops just inside the 15 as it bounces around by the 14 out of bounds.
Yeah, nice kick there.
So the Bulldogs will take over in their own territory. Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Langle's serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Schererville, or in Crown Point. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network.
Yes, it is, and by the time I get back, it is gone. Those guys in the studio, if you can hear me, lay off the pizza. I want some when this game is over.
We'll see about that as with 10:55 to go here in the second quarter. You might be running out of time for pizza. Ehrlich's going to roll to his right. He throws it, just bouncing off the hands of Delich. Incomplete.
Yeah, Delich is their main receiver. First time we've seen him targeted tonight. Crown Point really hasn't had that many offensive possessions, so I'm sure the Crown Point offensive staff wants to get everybody a touch tonight, keep them, warm, kind of ready to go. Exactly, So even though they're already up 15, it's good to give your playmakers passes.
Ehrlich and Ellison in the backfield. A couple receivers out to the right. Ehrlich takes it, spins, and hands off to a receiver in motion. He's got room to go here. Jones rolling left. Jones has some green grass ahead of him at the 40. He breaks one tackle, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Bulldogs. Nifty play there on the receiver in motion, taking the handoff, making it 27-6, Crown Point.
Yeah, and Ehrlich spun all the way around. Initially faked it to the first guy going to his left, spun all the way around. Jones came from behind and got the ball and ran 80 yards. And I'm going to have to give the call out to Seamus Mulaski. the tight end was about 15, 20 yards downfield, still in contact with the man he started with at the line of scrimmage, and made enough contact and then gave him a push right at the end to let Jones explode all the way down the field. Great job, great hustle by Mulaski.
It was a great run by Jones, too, because there was actually a Portage defender in the hole that met him, and he made a quick little cut, and that was all he needed. Put on the burners. One last Portage defender kind of gave him a little shove there at the end, but not nearly hard enough. And great play there by the Crown Point offense to get another big play.
As Brewer's kick goes through the uprights, we remind you to stay with Region Sports after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio. RSN will recap all of tonight's action from around the region, all from the Centier Bank studio. And you're watching Game Night. We'll keep it here as we'll get ready for another kickoff. As also coming up, connecting the first half and the second half of tonight's game, it's the Hose Connection halftime report presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure.
Yeah, Leo, I'm throwing you in some pressure right there, huh?
Yeah, trying to get these reads in as it's been a little bit of a
quick moving. Lots
going on tonight. When you look at how the game started with those two big kicks by Portage recovering off the those fumbles, it was a while before Crown Point's offense was able to get on the field, but they haven't missed a step here, leading 28-6 with 10 minutes, 36 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Well, I think it helps when you get a defensive touchdown and then you get an interception that sets you up with very plus field position. That helps build some rhythm on offense. Even though Portage had back-to-back offensive possessions to start the game, really, the defense was able to wear that down for Crown Point, get their offense back on the field, and now they're in a dominating position.
Another Quintel kickoff presented by our friends at Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Portage is going to bring it to about the 21. So Young and the rest of the Indians here trying to get something going here when they've been stopped on their last few drives, but you have to think they're just trying to get some momentum before the half, try to string together some positives.
Yeah, they've moved the ball. They've gotten some first downs pretty consistently. They just sort of sputtered out. They haven't been able to consistently piece together a long drive, and that's a testament to this Crown Point defense. The best defenses bend a little, but they never break, and Crown Point's defense has shown that tonight.
We've seen it too, Crown Point just being able to get a good job of getting everyone to the ball on a lot of these run plays as Jones pitches it to his left over to Marshall, who is met near the line of scrimmage, probably in the backfield by the defensive line of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the first one there looks like it was number 49. Oh, there he is, Logan Rodriguez. Nice job of pursuit from his outside linebacker position. Always maintained his outside leverage and tried to turn the running back turn inside. And he got him, and then a host of Bulldogs got in on him.
Yeah, that's the second time tonight he's blown up that play, that outside toss that Portage just kind of ran right at him, but he's been up to the task both times for tackles for loss.
That'll make it 2nd and 10 from the Portage 25-yard line. Young takes a snap. He's got everybody out right now. He's looking for his man downfield to the left. He throws it into single coverage, but it's broken up by the Bulldogs.
Some of the Bulldog fans were on the visitor side. We're asking for a little bit of offensive pass interference, and I don't know what you thought, but I thought it might have been, unless it was just uncatchable, but I don't think that matters.
I thought it might. The only thing I thought was that the ball, I think, was uncatchable, but the Portage receiver did give the Crown Point defensive back a full two-arm shove in the back. So I think the only justification for that would be uncatchable.
Jalen Kelly was the defensive back looking to try to get that interception. But
yeah, great position by Kelly.
Young takes a snap, throwing to his right over the middle, looking for Mabin or Roberts. It was kind of dropped between both of them. Incomplete.
I think Young was just trying to get rid of that one. He just sort of threw it in an area where receivers, because he had some heat on him.
He did. Mabin, he bent his route way in. I think that's where the miscommunication was. Mabin, there was a lot of wide open grass right in front of him, but if you're not running some sort of option route, you can't just kind of audible the route in the play like that. You got to just run what's called.
So 4th and 10 from their own 25. Portage looking to punt here. So Young will also be handling the punt duties. Crown Point's going to send Delich back to return the kick. Young takes a trot into the punt, boots it in the air. Delich signals for the fair catch, hauling it in around the 35-yard line, bringing Ehrlich and the rest of the Bulldog offense back onto the field.
Let's see, what do we got here? Don't forget, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be naming the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Crowell Companies are the insurance superheroes. There you go. Taking some pressure off you there, Leo.
Appreciate that, and we'll see if Ehrlich and the rest of the Bulldogs have any super plays in them here with 9:33 to go here, taking over on their own 36. So Ehrlich, Ellison, and the rest of the crew coming back onto the field. Not a lot of problems for them so far, but they will send 3 receivers out to the right. A pair of tight ends on the field as well. Ehrlich takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Ellison. Now he's going to loft this one downfield, and it's intended for Jones, but that will be pass interference on the Indian defense.
I have to agree with the call. The defensive back did put his hands on the waist of the receiver. Whether it was enough to hold him up, he still made contact, so a good call by the officials, and the Crown Point sideline is finally happy.
Yeah, Crown Point's really liking these play-action deep shots. They know they're going to get cover 0, straight man coverage from the Portage defense, and they're willing to test the defenders of Portage against Noah Ehrlich's arm, because Noah Ehrlich has been money for them this year.
Yeah, you got to trust with what's gotten you here, and if you're talking about that, you've got to talk about his passing on the season. In just 4 games, 928 yards, 232 average. He is 70 for 100. That comes out to an even 70%. Easy math right there for me.
So easy, even the broadcasters can do it, as Ehrlich's been really what's been helping drive a well-balanced Crown Point offense. As there's a pre-snap flag on the field. Looks like that one's going to go move the ball forward for the Bulldogs. Making it 1st and 5 from the 46, so they are now into Portage territory.
Now, I wonder if the first 6 minutes and 40 seconds was the first time Crown Point has been down all season.
We'll have to look at the Ellison takes the snap. The running back now, he faked the pitch right and has to roll left. Another one of those misdirection snaps to the halfback, and he's tackled for a loss there.
Yeah, number 7 for...
That was Adam Corba, the safety for for Portage in the backfield there, making the stop.
You know what? I got Adam Corbin down, but I didn't have his number right next to it. Bad typing by the color analysis guy.
We'll blame it on your interns, as they didn't have your material ready. As Ehrlich, another penalty, as Indians might have jumped there, but Ehrlich and the Bulldogs were putting everybody. They were moving over a spot, too.
Yeah, they were doing an offensive line shift, and as they were shifting, there was a Indian about 5 yards into the backfield, and he's looking around and going, wait a minute, the ball wasn't snapped?
He had his hands in the air like, huh? I mean, I think he was pretty confused there. You don't see that a lot, and
No.
Crown Point, nice pit of coaching to gain 5 yards easy.
And here they go, doing that line shift again. This time the Indians don't jump. They move everybody to the right. Ehrlich with another one of those spins, handing it off to Jones. Jones wrestled down for a short gain for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so all they had on the left side of the center was the guard and tight end. Everybody else shifted over to the right-hand side. Then they fake going to the right. Jones cuts back to the left where only the tight end and guard were. And then they pull the guard and tackle from the other side. So they had they balanced it. They went unbalanced and then rebalanced it on the pull.
Looks like an old wing T play for.
Yes, it does.
Ehrlich now back in the gun, handing it off to Ellison. Ellison has some space on the left side. He crosses the 20, 15, 10. He is brought down by the shoestrings inside the 5. Huge run there by Larry Ellison.
Yep, number 7 again.
Corbo with a good tackle there, keeping Ellison out of the end zone, but the Bulldogs now set up shop inside the 10-yard line.
Ellison showing the burst through the hole. He hit that and didn't look back. Corba kind of stumbled at first, but he was able to recover to save the touchdown. But Ellison showing the Jets there.
So Crown Point going to set up operations here on the 6-yard line. 7:50 remaining here in the first half, as Ehrlich hands it off to Ellison, and he just trots in on the left side of the line for 6. Crown Point leads 34-6.
And that is Ellison's 11th touchdown of the season. Yeah, you're right. He just strolls on in on that one, nice and smooth.
Good blocking there by the Bulldogs to just give him that space. The offensive line deserves an assist on that
Yes,
one.
they do.
You know, Portage, their run defense to start the game was actually pretty good, but Crown Point, I've seen them a couple times this year, they just wear people down with the size of their offensive line. It's hard to stop their running game for 4 quarters just because of the size of those big guys up front.
So Brewer gets ready for the snap. He kicks it up and over. So putting the extra point there, making it 35-6 with 7:47 to go here in the second quarter. Crown Point has bursted out to a huge lead here. We will take a break, so stick around. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back. You're watching RSN Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel building better together. We are aware of the technical difficulties with our broadcast, and we will be ending this stream to start a new stream in the second half, so we apologize for those difficulties as that kick goes out of bounds. We are here at Portage midway through the second quarter. It's 35-6 Crown Point, and now Cody Young and the Portage offense will be looking to take the field, but there seems to be some discussion with the officials now.
Well, the kick went out of bounds, and I'm not sure, but they're talking to another player. I'm not sure what's going on there, but the kick went out of bounds. I think that's the flag, so they should be starting at their own 35. It was a pretty good kick by the Crown Point kicker. Kind of died at the 1 yard line again. This time, though, he kind of angled it a little too much to the left, and he got put a little too much English on it, and it kind of spun out of bounds. But good starting field position for Portage here, and we'll wait to see what happens with the officials. Still some discussion there.
Been a strange game in terms of some of the special teams plays we've seen. The first 2 kicks, Portage was able to recover, and now this kick out of bounds. We'll wait for a signal here. Portage now getting ready. Looks like they're getting set up near the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Portage is not. Oh, now the chains are scooting up. But we've got an official talking to Coach Bazia to our left here. Looks like he's going to make a call.
Now they're moving the chains back towards about the 20-yard line.
Okay, it looks like there was a dead ball personal foul against Portage. That's going to bring the ball to the 20, 15 yards back from the 35 where they would have started had the ball, if they had no penalty when the ball went out of bounds. So that explains that. I didn't see 2 flags on the field. I think that was maybe a little bit of the confusion there. But so Portage starting from their own 20, 7:45 to go here in the second quarter.
So Young and the rest of the Portage offense trying to make some positives here. They scored early in the first quarter, but looks like there might be a timeout now as they're going to try to regroup here.
Okay. We've got a couple of Crown Point coaches still talking to officials here. It looks like Coach Richards from Portage is also talking to official. I think everyone's just trying to get everything straightened out here.
Sometimes with those personal fouls, you want to make sure everybody keeps their composure. You don't want to see ejections. That could
potentially influence next week's game.
And at the conclusion of tonight's game, we will name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Crown Point defense taking the field. There's been a lot of players making blue-collar plays there.
Yeah, one that comes out to mind so far in the game was Seamus Molaski making that block 20, 25 yards downfield. Seamus Molaski playing both ways as well.
That's always one of the tougher tasks you can hand on a player, making them go offense and defense. And Molaski has stepped up on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, especially at 5A, 6A,
exactly.
the higher levels, it's very unheard of.
Especially he's playing D-line and tight end. I mean, he's playing in the trenches. That's really physically taxing.
Yeah, Molaski, the 6'5", 254-pound senior, has been really helping things go for the Bulldogs as Young throws that to his left, connects with a receiver, and a big hit there by Delich to stop him for about 11 yards there, making a first down for the Indians.
Yeah, Delich made contact right as the receiver caught the ball, but you can tell he's still got a little bit of receiver in him because he didn't wrap up. He hit with the shoulder and just sort of leaned into him. A true defensive guy would have stuck his arms through and ripped through and nailed him to the ground. That's a wide receiver making a tackle out there.
It's almost like a hockey check, leading with the shoulder and just trying to stay on your feet there. Young puts a couple ends in motion, has two receivers to his right, takes the snap, looking right, floats it downfield, looking for Young. That one's going to sail incomplete about 5 yards ahead of his receiver.
Yeah, he was trying to get him on the deep post there. He did have a step on the defender. The safety was closing very quickly. Would have had to been a perfect throw, and Young just kind of sailed it on him a little bit.
He was looking for Jaden Roberts.
Yeah, Delich on the coverage. Pretty good coverage right there.
And Delich, another player for the Bulldogs, playing offense and defense. Really like to see a lot of different seniors stepping up, going both ways.
Yeah, 7:24 left in the second quarter.
Jacob Jones, another guy playing wide receiver, cornerback. You want your high-impact guys on the field as much as possible.
Young takes a snap, throws right for a screen pass. That one gets away. He was rushing that one. He was looking for Isaiah Patterson, who is now walking gingerly off after that incompletion. But
yeah, I remember when we did our coaches talk throughout the summer. I remember when we had our encounter with Coach Buzia. He said he is going to, even though it's 6A, he said he's going to keep as many of his best players on the field as much as possible, and you can see it in tonight's game. He's got some receivers going, defensive back. You got Seamus Molaski. Probably have one or two other guys. But they do get rest here and there, but they're on the field a lot.
It helps you in a variety of ways, just having your best athletes on the field. Young takes the snap. He's looking down right, trying to find Roberts, but that one just gets away. Jones in coverage there, making it 4th and 10 from the 31.
Yeah, Jones was running step by step with Roberts there. No real place for Young to put the football. And we're going to see another Portage punt.
Stay with us after the game when we'll name the Proud Union Home Play of the Game, presented by IKROCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters.
Yeah, I think right now Jacob Jones' 85-yard run at 10:30 left in the second quarter has got to be up there. But there are four other touchdowns by the Bulldogs that are up there.
I mean, you could say Jacob Jones' 80-yard interception could be up there as well, too. I mean, he's had a great game so far.
Yeah, Will Clark. Oh, wait a minute. Is that Jacob Jones? Let's see. Oh, yeah, but he got tackled.
Yeah, he did get tackled. He did get chased down by the quarterback, so we have to deduct him some points, but still a great play nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? That's going to be one where, in the highlight or in the films, when you go over the films tomorrow, it's like getting either tackled by the punter or the kicker.
Exactly.
That's one where you kind of, as one of your teammates, you let them hear it for that, where you just got one man to beat, and it's the quarterback.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to be joking tomorrow when they play the play in the film room, I'm sure.
So Ehrlich and the Bulldogs back on the field for offense here. 1st and 10 from the 26. He's got Ellison to his left, and he's going to hand it off. But Ellison wrapped down and brought down by the Indians. A big hit there by Daniel Warmick.
Yeah, number 24.
Catching him in the backfield and wrestling him down in the turf for a loss.
Yeah, this Portage defense, they're still super aggressive. I mean, Coach Richards, he likes to play 5, 6 guys, sometimes even on the line of scrimmage, cover 0 behind it. He wants to take away the run. That's his MO.
And they're definitely – I think Coach Richards trying to instill, even though they're down, that they still fight. You know, you got to readjust the culture in the building here for the Indians.
Ehrlich and the Bulldogs, 2nd and 15 from their own 21. They were putting Delich in motion, but now we have a whistle.
And it's going to be a timeout, Bulldogs.
So Crown Point calling the timeout with 6:21 to go here in the second quarter.
I'm trying to find something here.
Let's read something.
Here, well, let's get back to the. Where's the pizza when you need it? Oh, here we go.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog football and say go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Mayor Land and the Pace team invite everyone to Bulldog Park for Oktoberfest on October 6th and 7th. Join us for German music and fare. For more information, contact the Pace Department at 219-661-2271.
Sounds like a good time.
Yes, it does. And I think it's time for some pizza, right?
Yeah, there we go. Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Langle's serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network, as Allison takes that pass from Ehrlich. He's got space. Allison keeps moving, nearing the 40, and he tumbles forward for a huge passing gain on the screen.
That first down is brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
So Allison and the Bulldogs move forward, setting up on their own 42 with 6:11 to go here in the first half. They are putting the tight end on the field. That's going to be Trevor Gibbs, another one of those players going both ways. The sophomore has a receiving touchdown in this ball game. Ehrlich takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Allison. He's got pressure in the backfield, rolling left. He floats it up down for Delich. Delich hauls it in at the 28-yard line for a huge reception.
Yeah, and that's no Ehrlich at his best. A man blitzes straight through. He's got pressure on him. He eludes the pass rush, is able to maintain his eyes down the field, and does a great job extending the play and just floating it out there for Delich to make the catch.
I got to say, I've seen him since he was a freshman at Hobart, and I've got to call a couple of his games this year at Crown Point. I think that's the one thing this year that's impressed me the most. That's the one thing he's added to his game, and you can see throughout the season how much that's paid dividends for him.
Ehrlich fakes the handoff to Allison. Now he's rolling left. He's looking downfield for Gibbs, but it's intercepted by the Indians. Another long run as he's pushed out of bounds. That was Corba with the interception there.
I'm going to stop hyping guys up because
you are.
Anytime I do it, they throw an interception. So
that's his third one on the season.
Again, sometimes you try to make a play and you're trying a little too hard and you try to force something, especially as a quarterback. And, right now that doesn't hurt you, but I'm sure Coach Bazia is going to show him that on tape and say, hey, later in the season when we're playing teams, in the playoffs, you can't be doing this kind of stuff. Right now when we're up, we got a big lead. It's okay. It doesn't hurt us. But there's going to be times where something like that could potentially hurt us a lot.
Right. Sometimes it's better to take that, just
exactly.
Throw it out of bounds, the incompletion.
Live to fight another day.
Right. As Portage sets up 1st and 10 from their own 34. Young throws left. He finds his receiver, Roberts, who is brought down by a couple of Bulldogs there. So the Indians trying to get something going before the half here. 5:30 to go here. You can take away a positive from that. You were able to force a turnover against one of the top offenses in the region. It's all about building off of some of these things when you're down by a large margin here.
Yeah, on the season, Crown Point has 6 turnovers. So that's their 7th. Well, I would have to say the 2 kickoffs, would those be turnovers?
I would say so.
So 8, 9.
Young takes a snap. That one comes in at about knee-high level. He throws it over, and that was looking for Fields, but it was broken up by the Bulldogs.
Try to hit that skinny post again. Better coverage by the Crown Point defensive backs. Portage has been hitting that a lot. You got to think that those guys are kind of starting to sit on it a little bit.
Yes, they are. That was Jalen Kelly out there. Did a nice job, like you said, sitting on that pass route. And you're right. They found something that works, Portage did, and they're going to just try and keep going to it. And you know, when you're 0-4, you gotta take those shots downfield.
5 minutes to go here. 3rd and 5 from the Portage 39. Young puts a running back in, or he's going to shuffle around where his receivers are deployed. It looks like they're just going to have to call a timeout, so we will take one with the players. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Develop skills that will last for a lifetime with an apprenticeship with the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. The apprenticeship and training program is committed to developing highly skilled bricklayers, terrazzo workers, and ceramic tile setters to provide the construction industry with the best hands in the business. If you are currently working non-union and want better pay with benefits, or if you think learning a new skill with a paid apprenticeship while you earn your associate's degree is the right path for you, visit baclocal4.org/training to learn more about the apprenticeship program. Are you built to succeed?
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Game Night presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more. So 3rd and 5 for Portage from their own 39. Young has 3 receivers right. He puts another one in motion from left to right, and he's going to hand it off, but he's met in the backfield by the Bulldogs. Looked like the first hit was delivered by Carson Granger, getting in there to make Nate Kalk, the defensive end, wrapping him up in the backfield for a stop. And we'll be bringing you some scoreboard updates. The scoreboard update is brought to you by Strachan Van Til. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store.
Yeah, we got one right at hot off the press. If you're not watching, since you're with us, you're not watching the Andrean Hobart game. Andrean is up 10-7 in the 3rd quarter over the Brickies.
It looks like there was a face mask on that play, and I did kind of see one. It was incidental, and that's going to be a Four Seasons first down. Brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist.
Another scoreboard update, Lowell 14, Highland Trojans 12. That's also in the 3rd quarter.
Young takes the snap. He's looking right. He hits it over to Roberts. Roberts hit hard. Did he secure it? He did not. Incomplete.
You know, one thing I've noticed throughout the night is that Portage is getting rid of that ball quickly from the quarterback spot. One thing I haven't noticed about the Crown Point rush, nobody's getting their hands up trying to knock that pass out. You know, if you don't get to the quarterback, get your hands up defensively. And now I've not seen one of their defensive linemen get their hands up.
I think actually the first pass of the game they tried to throw that bubble screen, but other than that, they haven't. And you're right, Jay. They need to, if they're not going to be able to get there with this quick passing game, they got to try to do something else to disrupt it.
Young hands it off to Fields, who just pushes forward, getting about 2 yards there, running right into that defensive line of Crown Point.
Yeah, they tried to run in the middle, so maybe just to try and slow that pass rush down just a little bit. But again, they really have not gotten to the quarterback yet. But it seems like every time we say something, the opposite happens.
Right, sack for a fumble coming with the way this one has gone.
Portage setting up for 3rd and 7 from their Crown Point 48, trying to just get it in the Bulldog territory. The Crown Point defense has been standing tall for most of this first half. Young in the gun, has Fields back there with him. Receives the snap, he's looking right. Floats it over to Roberts, and Roberts is going to be met by a whole swarm of Bulldogs bringing him back, but it looks like it was enough for that first down.
Another Four Seasons first down, brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. Again, nice little speed out route, soft coverage from Crown Point, that no doubles type defense, just trying not to get beat over the top. They're giving first downs to Portage, but they're not breaking, they're not giving up the big play.
Seems like every time they do surrender a first down, they come back aggressively and are able to get one of those big stops. or a play for loss. Young puts a couple players moving from left to right. He's got Fields directly to his right. That's a low snap. He hands it off to Fields. Fields just tries to gobble up a few yards, but he is attacked by that Crown Point defensive front.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be 2nd down and 9. They, again, trying to run in between the tackles. And if you say, I was going to say if you see it, but we can't because of technical difficulties. But Portage offensively has got like 3-inch splits between each of the linemen. So they're forcing. That's one of the reasons why Crown Point's not able to get a good pass rush. They're tight splits. And the running, that's why Crown Point can't run the ball, because there's no room in there for the backs to find a hole.
Young takes a snap on 2nd and 9. He's rolling left, but the Bulldogs are there in the backfield. Big sack there.
Yeah, that sack goes to number 32 of the Crown Point Bulldogs. Of course, it's somebody not on my...
We'll get that number. It looked like it was Carson Granger, the junior linebacker, with a big stop there.
Of course, another typing error by the technical team here at Region Sports. Oh, that was me.
Now, Young there, he pump faked, brought the ball down. He needed to get out of the pocket and get rid of that one.
Yeah, for one of the few first times we've seen a decent pass rush by the Bulldogs.
So that is a big loss there, making it 3rd and 18 from the Crown Point 44. Portage takes another timeout here to stop the clock with 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go.
Let's get to that right here. We got a few more scoreboard updates. The scoreboard update brought to you by Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Let's get to a couple of those scoreboard updates. We got Hanover 21, KV 0. LaPorte and Lake Central knotted up at 0. Maryville 3, Michigan City 0. That's also at halftime. You would think with those two teams it would be 23-20 at halftime, but it's only 3-0. Munster and East Chicago Central 0s. Griffith Panthers up 7-0 over River Forest. Let's see, South Central and Bishop Nolan knotted up at 0. Valparaiso 14, Chesterton 0. That's another game we're broadcasting here in Region Sports as well. Let's see, Morton Governors 13, Calumet Warriors 0. And Hammond Central, wow, this is a little bit of a surprise. Pioneer Panthers 13, Hammond Central 6.
Follow all of tonight's Region Football scores live on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. Your favorite Indiana-made grocery store as Young and the Indians get ready for 3rd and 18. Young takes the snap. He's looking downfield, floats a wobbly pass over to his left, and it is nearly intercepted by Delich. That'll nonetheless be a stop for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Delich came out of nowhere the last second. That ball was floated. He did a nice job of tracking the ball. The receiver was well beyond him, but the ball was way underthrown. Delich got in good position, got his hands up. Looks like he was trying to make a one-handed catch when he should have gotten both hands out there and make the sure catch.
Yeah, I think Delich wants that one back.
Yes, he does. He was jumping up and down.
Exactly. He reacted immediately. He knew he had one and kind of just let it slip through his grasp.
So that will put the Indians at 4th and 18 from the Crown Point 44. 2:07 to go here. Clark gets ready to punt. The Bulldogs not having anyone back, looking for the touchback here. This one's booted high in the air, dropping at about the 14-yard line, out of bounds. So Ehrlich and the Bulldogs will hit the field now. 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
I was looking for some, hey, we've got, it seems like both teams have just been fighting from 20 to 20. Nobody's gotten, once they get into red zone, nobody's gotten to the red zone in a while. So it's just a middle of the field fight right now.
And a lot of these touchdowns have been off of big plays, big runs after catch too. So yeah, it's trying to get the offense to the red zone and then execute in there. That's something coaches really want you to work on as Ehrlich takes over at the 13-yard line. He receives the snap, takes the handoff to Ellison. Now he rolls right, looking for a man downfield. He's instead going to throw it to Delich near the
He's throwing it to nobody.
Yeah.
He had Delich and Jones kind of running double crossers in the same area. We talked about Portage having that similar type problem earlier, bad spacing with receivers. one of those guys probably needed to break off the route, kind of go scramble drill once Ehrlich busted out of the pocket, maybe try to get themselves open outside of the playbook, so to speak.
Yeah, Ehrlich, smart quarterback right there just before he got out of bounds, threw the ball away. Looked like he was trying to hit Coach Roy Richards from Portage with the pass.
So 1:53 to go here. Ehrlich fakes the handoff to Ellison. Now he throws it to Ellison. Good reception there by the running back. Ellison in space, crossing at the 30, fighting through a couple of tackles there. Physical run after catch there for a first down Bulldogs.
Yeah, nice. Oh, yep.
There you go.
Four Seasons first down. We got to get the reads in. That first down brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist. Again, using Ellison slipping off of the play action. Nobody was covering him. Big gain.
So now Crown Point sets up 1st and 10 from their own 34. Ehrlich and Ellison in the backfield. Fake handoff to Ellison. Now Ehrlich throws it downfield looking for Jones. Jones hauls it in. Jones at the 25, 20, 15, 10, goal line, end zone, touchdown Jones. Crown Point with another long passing touchdown to extend their lead.
Was that from the 25-yard line? So it's a 75-yard play?
From the 34, but yeah.
34, okay.
Yeah, big 66-yard pass. Jones, a little skinny post right up the seam. Great ball from Noah Ehrlich. Hit him right in stride, and Jones just put on the burners. He's had a huge game, too huge. He scored a touchdown running and receiving, and he has an interception, so big game for him tonight.
Jones contributing all over the field. Waiting the extra point is Brewer, and he kicks it through the uprights, making it 42-6. Crown Point with 1:21 to go here in the first half. We will take a break, but stick with us. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate, to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117. Welcome to Public Bar and Rec, located in downtown Crown Point, a place for good games, good drinks, and good food. So come in and make it public. Try to survive zombie dodgeball, score a hole-in-one playing golf, or choose from over 13 multi-sport simulator games while fueling your competition with a variety of appetizers, entrees, and beverages. We have games for all ages with our family-friendly hours till 9 p.m. Reserve your simulator at publicbarandrec.com and let the fun begin.
Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network, building better together. A little bit of weirdness on the kickoff there as the the kick didn't quite bounce where Marshall thought it was going to be, and he had to kind of recover and was brought down deep in his own territory.
Yeah, that sometimes on this turf, the ball seems to, especially if the point hits first, that ball seems to hit and spin backwards instead of like on a natural grass. Usually would just automatically roll in towards the end zone. So yeah, another goofy bounce on another kickoff that we've seen a few of those tonight.
It was weird. He didn't even really look like he attempted to catch it. I think he might have thought the guy to his right was going to grab it, but he was looking to block. So Portage lucky that they got away with that one.
So Young and the Indians back on the field with a little over a minute to go here in the first half. They're going to float a deep pass downfield, and Delich with the one-handed swat to break that pass up for another incompletion.
Yeah, Delich is they've moved him. He started the game kind of at safety. They moved him over to corner, and I don't know if he's the guy you want to test. He is, about 6'3". He's very athletic. Toledo commit as a receiver, but still he can get it done on defense, and he almost had another pick there.
Showed some good vertical
yes,
distance
definitely.
too.
Yeah, I think that's about a second or third pass breakup on the evening.
So that sets up Portage second and 10 from their own 11. Put a couple men in motion going from left to right. Young takes a snap. He's looking to his right. That one was a little underthrown. He was looking for Roberts. Jones was wrapped around him. Almost got another pick there.
Yeah, Well, it looked like it was number 9, one of the linebackers coming out. Or was it number 5? I couldn't tell.
I think it was number 9, Van Tichelt. I want to say that's Van Tichelt.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're butchering the name up here. We don't have pronunciations on our roster, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he did a nice job just cutting underneath that route, got his paw up, knocked it down, Bulldog paw, Come on.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
So Young getting ready for 3rd and 10. Dropping back to pass. He's looking downfield, and it's swatted by the Bulldogs. Looked like Malarski in the mix there, as there's also a flag thrown.
Yeah, another paw hits the ball, huh? All right.
Jay, you talked about earlier them getting their hands up. If they can't get to the quarterback, if they're going to use this quick game, they need to affect the passing game in some other way. And we've seen a couple deflections. We saw a sack since then, so the defensive line stepping up.
Yeah, that was Seamus Malarski on the paw knockdown.
See what the call was there.
I think it was holding against Portage. Crown Point declined it because they're at 4th down here, and Portage is going to punt from their own end zone.
So the Bulldogs looking to put Delich back to return this punt with 1:03 left to go here in the first half. Young also handling the punting duties, trying to boot this one away and try not to give the Bulldogs favorable field position as he puts that one up. Delich is going to signal for fair catch and haul it in at about the 40-yard line. So the Bulldogs offense in the field with 58 seconds to go here and 40 yards separating them from Pater.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here, if they're just content to run the ball a couple times, go to halftime, or, they have a minute left plus field position. If they want to work some sort of 2-minute offense, right now wouldn't be a bad time.
Yeah, definitely. You picked my brain on that one. I was going to say the exact same thing. And you don't get much real game time experience where you can sit there and work on a 2-minute game. So this is a great opportunity for the Bulldogs to do that.
So setting up shop at the Portage 40-yard line. Ehrlich will be at quarterback. He's got Delich to his right. Ellison's in the backfield. 2 receivers to his left. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Ellison. He's dropping back, rolling left, evading some pass rushers. Throws it. One-handed catch by Ellison. Ellison rumbles all the way, nearing the 10-yard line, brought down by a pair of Indians. Nifty grab by Larry Ellison for the long first down.
I talked earlier about when Noah Ehrlich scrambles, you kind of have to modify your route then. Ellison was going to the flat, but he saw Noah scramble, so he kind of broke his route off a little bit more to the end zone, and he was able to get open behind the defender for a big gain.
Yeah, and another nice thing Ellison did right there, he got in the vision of the quarterback, and it was a nice adjustment. Ellison reached back with a one-handed catch. Wow.
So the clock will stop with 37 seconds to go here. It'll be 1st and 10 for Crown Point from
don't
the
forget
12.
who just got that first down?
Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialist.
And we got some type of, I don't know, it doesn't look like a timeout, but the officials are talking to the coaches on each side.
Bulldogs will have it at the 12 as we await resumption of play here, but Ellison has shown he's been pretty solid in the passing game as well. That's a huge asset to have as we're waiting for.
Yeah, if you can slip him out of the backfield and you stretch those receivers down the field, and if you can get Ellison out into the flats and he makes catches like that throughout the season, Crown Point's going to be a tough team to tangle with.
So the Bulldogs do another line shift, moving everybody over to the right. Ellison fakes the handoff. Ehrlich flings it over, looking for his tight end Gibbs, but that one ricochets around, incomplete.
Well, the way that play is drawn up, Ehrlich's eyes don't get to turn around because he is faking one back going one way. He has to do a complete 360, fakes another running back coming across him, and then by the time his eyes get turned around, it's awfully late in the pattern, and he's usually only throwing to one guy, and that was the interception that he threw earlier, was the one on that very same play.
Yeah, it's the play action component of the play that Jones scored that 85-yard touchdown. He does know Ehrlich turns his back to the defense there, which is how you get the best play action, in my opinion, because then the defense has to bite on it, basically. But the problem is when you do that, you snap your head around and you got a defender right in your face sometimes, and that can speed up a throw. And that one was almost picked off right there.
So a hold on the Bulldogs will back them up to the 22-yard line. 2nd and 20. They put Jones in motion from left to right. They fake the handoff to Ellison. Ehrlich's rolling to his right. He throws it low, but it's caught.
Nope.
Incomplete.
That was to number 8.
He was looking for Jacob Soley, who just couldn't quite bring it in. So that makes it 2nd and 20 from the, or 3rd and 20 from the 22. 35 seconds to go here.
Well, I think what Ehrlich was doing on that play was just getting rid of it because he had a defensive lineman draped all over him.
Bulldogs subbing some players in and out. They bring their tight end, Molaski, back on the field.
In that unbalanced set again.
He's set up to the left. They were going to hand it off to Jones. Jones rumbles left. He is brought down near the 20-yard line, it looks.
Well, like Jay broke down earlier, they're getting in that unbalanced set with a tackle over, tight end to the right, just the tight end guard to the left, and then they run a little counter with Jones coming back to the left. They ran that for that touchdown. They've ran the play action off of it. Portage is starting maybe to get a little bit smart to it.
Well, at this point in the game, I think also you're thinking about next week's opponent, Valpo. Mm-hmm. It gives them a whole new segment that they're going to have to work on defensively.
Exactly.
So you're going to just make it that much harder for Valpo to break down this game film for next week. I mean, with the score 42-6, you can start to look a little bit ahead. And again, next week, I think is the game for the Doolin Conference
for the region potentially.
Yep. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good game. Well, let's put it this way. On paper, it should be.
Right.
Last year, I did that game, and Portage or Crown Point just annihilated Valparaiso. But I think it's going to be a little bit better of a game this year. I think Crown Point has stepped up their game, but I think Valpo has also.
Definitely. I've gotten to see both teams this year live, gotten to call games for both teams, and I definitely think they're very similar in terms of they want to win the game in the trenches. And maybe when you have two teams that have that identity, maybe it's going to be the skill position guys that maybe are the X factor. So we'll see. I definitely think that's kind of the de facto championship of the Duneland. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I do think that. And really, it's the championship of the entire region because I think those are the two best teams in the area this year.
You may get somebody chasing on you on that one because I'm sure some of the Hobart fans and Hanover fans are going to be saying, "Well,
I mean, those are solid teams. Solid teams. I've gotten to see Hobart this year. Got to see their game against Chesterton, but right now, from what I've seen, in my opinion, and don't set the dogs on me, folks, it's Crown Point and Valpo.
So Crown Point on 4th down is going to go for it. Ehrlich's rolling right, looking for the front corner of the end zone, and he finds Delich for a touchdown, Bulldogs. Crown Point puts another one on the board. Delich with a nice grab under pressure for the score.
Yep, 22-yard pass from Ehrlich to Delich. Well-designed play.
Ehrlich, we've talked about it tonight. His ability outside of the pocket, I think, is what really makes him dangerous, extending the play. His receivers are doing a great job kind of getting open once the play breaks down. And Noah put that ball right there in the corner of the end zone where only Delich could get it. It was a perfect throw. And, Crown Point really putting the beating on Portage now.
It'll make it 48-6, awaiting this extra point here. 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Indians are short a player on the extra point team, so they're just waiting for someone to get out there, but Brewer will be doing the kicking duties. Ehrlich with the hold, and the long snapper is Granger. The snap, the kick, and it goes through the uprights, making it 49-6. Crown Point leads this one with under 20 seconds to go here in the first half. We'll keep it here as we'll likely just see a quick end to the half here, but Crown Point, nice play there on 4th down, too, to get the score.
Yeah, when it rains it pours, so to speak. I mean, it's Crown Point really, they were hyped up coming into this season, and from what I've seen, they've lived up to the hype completely.
And as we're approaching the end of the half, connecting the first half and second half of tonight's game, it's the Hose Connection halftime report presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure.
Yep. I think the pressure's going to be on Valpo and Crown Point for next week's game.
Yeah, it seems to be where all signs are pointing to. Two very deep teams that could make for a fun matchup.
That game at Valparaiso, or is it? No, I'm sorry. That game is at Crown Point. Excuse me.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, that stadium is going to be rocking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Crown Point fans, great following here tonight. The visitor side where we're sitting is completely packed. Student section, well-traveled here tonight. So it's going to be rocking and rolling. Going to get there early.
And the Bulldogs with a low kick. That one rolls all the way over inside the 10. The Indians didn't quite know how to receive that. Let it roll all the way to the back line and almost missed it. The returner had to go sprawling on the turf to try to bring it in.
Yeah, much to that point, Jay, I had their game against Lake Central last week at Lake Central, and those visiting stands were packed, so I'm sure for that game next week against Valpo, the Crown Point Stadium is going to be filled to the brim.
Yeah, both sides will be well represented there. And it's the battle of the county seat. Battle of the county seats.
So the Indians will set up here on their own 9-yard line, 16 seconds to go here. We'll see if they even try to run anything as Young just takes a knee to get to the half here. We are through 2 quarters. Crown Point leads 49-6. You're watching for that read here, you're watching Game Night built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Welcome back as Von Tobel presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel, your building materials supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find more. Leo Staudaher, Jay Simmons, and Rick Novak with you here as Crown Point leads Portage 49-6 here at Portage. It's been a dominant effort for the Bulldogs as we're getting ready for the start of the second half here.
Yeah, it started off kind of dicey for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs fumbled the opening punt, and then Portage went in and scored right away 6-0, and then that came at 9:39 left in the first quarter, and then it has been all Bulldogs since then.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog football and say, go Bulldogs! Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Mayor Land and the Pace team invite everyone to Bulldog Park for Oktoberfest on October 6th and 7th. Join us for German music and fare. For more information, contact the Pace Department at 219-661-2271.
So Crown Point will be kicking off. So the Get Gladish starting lineups will be the Bulldogs on defense first, and the Portage Indians on offense.
So let's talk about that Crown Point defense. It's time for the starting lineups presented by Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group, they're here to help. Action, not words. That defensive line led by Nate Kalk, Mark Gonzalez, Seamus Mulaski. At linebackers, they'll be relying on Will Clark, Drew Kroll, Trevor Gibbs, Dominic Fanton, and Jacob Jones. Jalen Kelly, Landon Delich, and Griffin Van Tykelt will round out the secondary for the Crown Point offense. Their signal caller will be Cody Young. In the backfield, they'll have Isaiah Patterson, Troy Marshall, and Daquan Fields. Jaden Roberts, JoJo Mabin, and Kenyon Andrews will be at receiver. In the trenches, they'll have Xavier Anderson, Elijah Soraya, Richard Vega, Gavin Hernandez, Christian Partlow at the offensive line. Gladish Law Group continues to be recognized by U.S. News & World Report as a top law firm. Visit dgladishlaw.com for more information.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Yeah.
One of the longer reads of the night, and you nailed it.
A lot of words, a lot of names. It's mid-season for everybody, so we're trying to get.
That's right. You're
sure
in mid-season form, just like Crown Point.
Crown Point really doing a good job working through some early hiccups with those kick returns and forcing turnovers and getting long plays on offense. They are looking fine-tuned tonight here at Portage.
Yeah, let's see. We got Noah Ehrlich to Mulaski. That came at 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Will Clark scoop and score 30-yard return. That was at 4:39 in the first quarter.
As Brewer kicks it off, the Bulldogs get to the return man all over near the 20-yard line. That was a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are sponsored by Quintel Incorporated. Quintel Incorporated specializing in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers.
And continue on the scoring for Crown Point. Trevor Gibbs, a 15-yard pass from Noah Ehrlich that came at 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Then we finally get to the second quarter. Jacob Jones with an 85-yard run. Larry Ellison with a 7-yard run that came in 7 minutes and 43 seconds in the second quarter. We'll get to a couple more scores of Crown Point after this play.
Jones in the shotgun has a receiver moving from left to right, and the Bulldog defense getting in there. Most of the second stringers in for the Bulldogs. They do a good job of stopping that run from Jump Street.
And then you got Jacob Jones, 66-yard pass from Noah Ehrlich that came at 1 minute and 21 seconds left in the second quarter. And then to finish off the second half, I'm running out of breath here, Landon Delich, a 22-yard pass on fourth down from Noah Ehrlich that came with 18.9 seconds left in the second quarter. All PATs good.
A lot of scoring in that first half. Jay told you how that all happened as there's 10:37 to go here. 2nd and 10 for Portage from their own 21. They put the man in motion. Jones looking left, has it a little bit behind him, but he still hauls it in. Kenyon Andrews with the catch to move things up a few yards.
Yeah, did a nice job working his way back to the ball. Ball a little bit underthrown, but nice job by the receiver.
Crown Point still playing that soft coverage. I mean, they've got the lead. Running clock is on. Just don't give up any big plays. Keep everybody in front of you. Rally up, make tackles. Looks like they've got the JV defense in there now, getting their younger guys some reps here on Friday night.
This is big to get some of those
Yes,
underclassmen
exactly.
experience, so because you can simulate things in practice, but nothing quite gets you ready like live game reps. As the snap is handed off to a receiver, it's Maben. He's rolling right, but the Bulldogs do a good job of sniffing that one out and bring him down on their own sideline.
Yeah, good pursuit right there by the left side of the defense. Every time he tried to cut it back inside, there was another guy pursuing and another guy pursuing. So great job with these younger guys keeping their angles and good pursuit. Fourth down and about 4 or 5 to go. Let's see what they're going to do, Portage.
Jacob Garcia and Dalton McCrae both involved in that tackle. They're a pair of sophomores. Bringing them down 4th and 6 from the 27-yard line. Young is at quarterback. He takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. He's got some room. Moving forward is Fields. He's got a man wrapped up at his ankle, and now the Bulldogs just all get in there to bring him down, but a nice first down run by the Indians.
That first down is brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. A little bit of a gutsy call there, running the ball on 4th and 6, but the hole opened up nicely. Some good hard running there by the running back from Portage and moving the chains.
Yeah, we haven't seen Portage have a whole lot of success in the running game, so that was a bit of a risk to take there, and it paid off for them.
Yeah, especially in between the tackles, they really haven't had that much success. And you see their splits, it's almost toe-to-toe in their splits in the interior offensive line, so not much room to run inside.
So Portage has 1st and 10 on their own 38. Jones and Fields in the backfield. They're going to put Roberts in motion, but the play clock expired there. That's going to be delay a game on Portage.
Yeah, you know what? Just slow getting that. That's the second or third time that's happened tonight. Again, we don't know. Is it the offensive coordinator getting the signal in too late? Is it the quarterback not being able to interpret what's going on? So a lot of variables going on out there.
Yeah, but like we talked about at halftime, it's a young team for this Portage Indian squad. Their entire offense is mainly sophomores, really. So these kids are going to have a couple more years of experience under the belt when all things are said and done. But right now, they're showing some of that inexperience.
Yeah, definitely. Especially against such a tough defense like Crown Point. Don't forget, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be naming the Crowell Lantern Man superhero of the game. That's Crowell Companies. Have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday. And Saturday till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Well, those are a lot of hours. That's not bankers' hours anymore.
No.
They got somewhere for everywhere in the region. Highland, Maryville, Michigan City. No matter where you're at, you can get to them.
All over to Northwest Indiana as Jones takes the snap. Young takes the snap, throws it to his left. It's broken up by the Bulldogs for another stop there. The first down throw, they hit Roberts hard for an incompletion.
Yeah, number 50 for the Bulldogs. You may have to go down the depth chart a little bit for that one.
Let's take a look. That's Ryan Goldie, the junior linebacker.
Yeah, he laid the wood on him on that one. Pretty good hit. Right as the ball got there, good contact, drove him to the ground.
So keep it at 2nd and 10 from their own 39. Portage looking to try to get something going here. A young offense working against a tough defense tonight. They're just trying to find some positives here in the second half as Young pitches it to his left over to Fields. Fields tries to juke, but he is wrapped up at the legs by a defensive back for a loss there.
Looks like number 29 for the Bulldogs.
Andy Parent, the junior, doing a good job getting in the mix there for a tackle.
Yeah, coming up from his cornerback position, made a solid tackle, wrapped him up around the legs, and just held on for dear life until he fell down.
Really nice job so far by this Crown Point JV defense against this Portage varsity offense. They given up a first down, but still they've really been hard to move the ball against.
They're looking disciplined too. You're not seeing anybody really out of position either as it's 3rd and 10 from that 39-yard line. Young takes the snap. He flings it out left. He gets it to Roberts. Roberts moving through space. He's brought down by a few Bulldogs there for a first down.
Yeah, it looks like the DB for Crown Point, Garcia, slipped there, allowed Roberts to kind of get a little burst of speed behind him for a first down. That is brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialists.
So the Indians move the chains there, but for that second string defense. They're still sticking with it, not letting that turn into a big play.
That's right. Good pursuit by the rest of the defense.
And stay with Region Sports after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio. RSN will recap all of tonight's action from around the region, all from the Centier Bank studio. Young takes a snap, dropping back to pass. He's looking right, pump fakes, throws it up and over the middle. That one's going to sail incomplete. He was trying to find Patterson, but the Bulldogs did a good job of blanketing him in coverage.
Yeah, Young had plenty of time to sit back there and throw a couple pumps, one to one side, and finally just decided to go deep over the top of everybody.
The coverage was really good. Leo, to your point, this is one of the best coached teams in the entire region. I mean, Zach Wells, their defensive coordinator, people who have been around the region for a while remember he was the head coach in Maryville. They won multiple regional championships. He was a very good, very well-respected coach there, and now he's coaching the defense for Crown Point, and their coaching staff top to bottom is probably the best in the region. They've got guys who used to be head coach on their staff. They're very, very deep at coaching.
Young takes a snap. He lofts it to the right, looking for his man downfield, trying to find Andrews, but that goes incomplete. And you see it here when that's the trickle-on effect of how good coaching is when the second stringers are in. How are they able to make their assignments? And they have certainly stepped up here.
You can tell they're prepared, and that's a sign of good coaching. When you got guys who maybe aren't normally getting in the game, when they do get in the game, you can tell that they've been coached well and they're completely prepared for the situation.
I mean, football's such a grind of a season, too, so when these second and third stringers are prepared, you never know if an injury or something pops up down the line. You know that next man is going to be ready to come in.
Depth is probably one of the biggest and most unsung factors in football, and to have quality depth is a big advantage.
Young's looking to pass. He is met in the backfield by a pair of Bulldogs, has to just throw that one away. Looked like it was
59 and 53 for the Bulldogs all over Young.
Joshua Miller and Zach Clark both getting back there and forcing Young to throw it away under pressure.
Now let's see, we got a scoreboard update. We have Andrean 24, Hobart 14.
That is another Strachan Van Til scoreboard update. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Follow all of tonight's region football scores live at the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. Streaming on Facebook.com/regionsports and regionsports.com. Strachan Van Til. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup as
fumble.
The Indians fumble. The Bulldog defense all over it. In the mix was Dalton McCray coming up with the recovery. So that'll be a turnover for the Bulldogs.
Wasn't sure on a number there, but somebody on that Crown Point defense poked that ball out of there, popped right into the hands of McCray. And he really wasn't even looking for it, but it literally popped right into his breadbasket. And, Portage, they've had some trouble tonight with their ball handling. They've been a little too loose with the football, and that's something that Coach Richards is going to have to clean up. I mean, he's got a young team, and one thing is, that high and tight.
And talking about it on the flip side, I mean, the Bulldogs have been doing such a good job all night sending multiple red helmets to the ball. So when you go to the ball, good things normally happen, and that's another example there. McCray might not have been expecting it, but he was in the right place and was rewarded for it.
Exactly.
As the Bulldogs' second string is in, they are going to hand the ball off. It looks like at quarterback will be Logan Hatt. He gets it to one of the running backs over there who rumbles forward for a few yards.
Hey, we got another scoreboard update. River Forest 21, Griffith Panthers 14. That's another Strachan Van Til scoreboard update. After this play, I'm going to explain why I picked that one game.
So it'll be Hatt in the backfield again. He's got Agano with him. He's going to throw to his left over to Soli. Soli makes the catch and extends forward, looking for the chains there.
Well, let's see if he got the first down first before I... Oh, yes, he did.
Okay, hey, the read. That first down brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
And the reason why I picked out that score, guys, is this past week I sat down with Coach Phil Mason. We did a little barbershop talk at Level Up Barber Lounge in Griffith. I want to say thanks to all the people that had viewed it. We have, since that was posted by Claude Martinez, our executive producer at Region Sports, it has had over 4,000 views. So I want to say thank you to all the people that have taken some time out of their day to watch the interview with Coach Mason. We had some fun. We talked about the rivalry that you know about, the Griffith and Drain rivalry in the from 2008 to 2015 with Coach Mason was there. We talked, and then we talked about that for a while, and then we talked about what's happening for Coach Mason. Just the same thing that's happening right here in Portage with Coach Richards, the rebuilding process. Now we know that Griffith is 3A. You're talking about a 5A school in Portage, which take a little bit more time. But yeah, Coach Mason's got that. They may not be winning tonight, but they have got the program turned in the right direction.
Hatt takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's rolling right, lofts it, looking for Soley again. That one was just a little bit over him for an incompletion.
And also on the previous play, there was a holding call, which we forgot to mention, but
which was not as important.
That's right. But I just want to give a shout out to all our viewers for Region Sports Network. I highly appreciate all the views. And a lot of great comments, a lot of likes. So.
No, it's a great interview, Jay. It really is, and I would encourage anyone who hasn't watched it to go and watch it, because it really is. If you want to see a side of Phil Mason that you might not have seen, you definitely don't see on the sidelines Friday night, I would highly encourage anyone to go watch that. I played for Coach Mason at Andrean. I got a lot of respect for him. He's definitely the guy to turn around Griffith football. He's a Hall of Fame coach, so just give him some time.
And we are nearing the end of the third quarter there, so through 3 quarters it is Crown Point all over this one, 49-6. You're watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
You're watching RSN Game Night, presented by Von Tobel. Von Tobel with locations in Valparaiso, Schererville, and Michigan City. Check out VonTobel.com to find out more. We're getting started here in the fourth quarter. Leo Stauder, Jay Simmons, and Rick Novak with you here. It is Crown Point 49, Portage 6. So the Crown Point offense on the field, 1st and 10 from their own 46. Some time for some of the underclassmen to get some experience here. Hatt takes a snap, fakes the handoff, throws it over, nearly intercepted. He was looking for his tight end, John Cremery, as there was a good breakup there by the Indians. It looked like Corbo was in the mix for that
number
breakup.
7, yeah.
Almost had his second of the night, and great break on the ball there.
Yeah, he anticipated that one perfectly.
So that makes it 2nd and 10
well,
for 3rd and 20, I should say. Getting ahead of myself there, as it's from the 46, so Crown Point has a ways to go to get the first down here. They're going to put a couple tight ends on the field, have 2 receivers split out right, and running back in the backfield with Hatt. Logan Hatt, the junior quarterback, hands it off, and the defensive line of the Indians all over that one, bringing the running back down, Tommy Gaudagno, for a stopping him maybe in the backfield, maybe a slight gain there, bringing it to 4th down.
See if Crown Point decides to punt the ball.
That's one of the only things we really haven't seen tonight, is Crown Point being put in a punt situation.
That is true. This may be a time to get the special teams some work, right? I was shocked right at halftime that they ended up going for the touchdown with Noah Ehrlich throwing a beautiful pass on 4th down and 22 with 18 seconds left. You'd think you'd want to work on your extra point. And they get the punt off.
As there's a flag on the play, yeah. So it looked like the element of the surprise from that quick kick might go away there. But
yeah, why did he kick it? He should have just held on to it.
So Hatt kicked it away, but the Bulldogs will likely be backed up 5 yards now, and won't do that one over. Cam Sorchi is listed as the punter on the Crown Point depth chart, but he has not really been called into action much tonight.
No, he has not.
It will be Hatt in the backfield at QB with running back joining him there. That'll be Treasure as Hatt's rolling right. There's a flag thrown as Hatt's still scrambling around and brought down eventually by the Indians deep in the Bulldog territory. We'll see what that flag is. But the Indian defensive line bringing the pressure and bringing Hatt down for a sack.
Yeah, one thing about Portage, I think they played hard this entire game. I don't think they've quit at all. And if you're Coach Richards, I think that's all you can ask for in a situation like this, especially when you're trying to rebuild a program, trying to rebuild that culture. There's going to be times where things like this happen. You know, I mean, you're going to take your lumps, especially when you got a team that's mostly underclassmen playing against a team that's mostly seniors. So getting this type of experience and knowing that no matter what the scoreboard says, we have to play hard until it's zeros, that's very valuable.
And that's where it comes down to establishing that culture, too. It's how do you carry yourself in a loss like this?
Exactly.
Are you still playing through the whistle and giving effort on each play as now the Indians set up? Young still in quarterback. There's a fumble on the exchange.
Still floating around out there.
Yeah.
Crown Point looks like it recovered it.
The Bulldogs go rolling on it, and it's eventually recovered by Ashton Flavin, the senior defensive back. Recovers that fumble, so it
was a greased pigskin football out there rolling around. It went through about 4 different sets of hands out there.
It was a hot potato, so to speak. And, Portage has had multiple handoff issues in this game. And, again, young team, that's something they got to work on because that's kind of day one stuff. Yeah. They got to get that stuff done because you can't run the ball if you can't hand it off.
Right, especially in week 5, those are the type of exchange problems you don't want to be seeing here as now there's another new quarterback in the game. He hands it off 14. And he's brought down. So we're going to look at that. That's Kyle Brainerd, the junior, handing it off to Rowan Treasurer, the sophomore. Seen some action on defense and offense. But the Bulldogs getting some opportunities to get some different players, some reps here with 7.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 2nd and 12 from their own 22. They have a comfortable lead here, so they will get some different signal callers, some reps as well. Have to like what you saw from their first stringer, Noah Ehrlich, in the first half. As Brainerd takes the handoff, hands it to Treasurer. He's rumbling forward. That was Tanner Rawls picking up a few yards there, so running backs trying to get some work done here.
Yeah, well, I think Crown Point, when you go back and look at the game film for tonight, you're gonna replay that first 5 minutes of the game over and over and say, all right, we've got to make sure this kickoff return team is solid because you can't have turnovers on both your first and second kickoff return and come away with only giving up 6 points. You're not going to let that happen next week. You'll be down 14-0 on a bat of an eye.
Exactly. You can't, against teams that are, just as good as you or better, you can't have that type of stuff happen. You need to tighten that up if you're Crown Point, and I'm sure Coach Buzz, that'll probably be the first thing on his mind.
As Brainerd hands it off to Logan Tijuan for the...
There you go for first down.
Yep, it's another Four Seasons Mechanical first down brought to you by our friends at Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrittville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialists.
So that makes it 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 35, just moving it down the field here. Brainerd takes the handoff, hands it off to Taiwan. He shuffles around a little bit, pushing forward. There's a whole pile down there, and the Indians get in there to try to bring him back. So the sophomore rumbles forward for about 2 yards there.
Well, let's see what's happening around the region. Let's see. So Hanover looks like they will win this week. That'll put them at 5-0. Hobart and Drain, you'll have to find out the score on that one.
It's 24-21 with Andrean leading with 3.5 minutes left.
And don't forget where's that at? We've got to get there. There we go.
Stay with Region Sports after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank Studio. RSN will recap all of tonight's action from around the region, all from the Centier Bank Studio as the Bulldogs move the stick up a little bit, close to the first down.
Going to be 4th down, and it looks like about a yard. So you look at Hobart and Drain. Somebody's going to drop in the Northwest Crossroads after tonight's game. Then you look at, we've got Crown Point, Valparaiso in the driver's seat. They'll look like they will both advance to 3-0. And that'll put both of them up in the driver's seat of the Duland Conference with the showdown coming up next week. That will be September 22nd, a week from today.
So third down.
Oh, he's got him.
Floating it down, looking for his man. He was trying to find Caden Smith, but he couldn't quite haul it in there. He was open in space, and the lefty quarterback almost got it to him.
Yeah, they faked a quick little screen, and 7 faked the stalk block, went vertical. The pass was there, just, man, I think he might have been thinking about 6.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem was that he turned around to slow down to try and high point the ball instead of running through the ball. If he'd have just kept on accelerating, I think he would have been able to catch that one on the run.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Departments are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog football and say go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, presenting the best in city services, and encouraging small growth. As that handoff is being pushed forward close to the first down, Mayor Land and the Pace team invite everyone to Bulldog Park for Oktoberfest on October 6th and 7th. Join us for German music and fare. For more information, contact the Pace Department at 219-661-2271, and that's another Bulldog first down.
Presented by your friends at Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
And that will move things up for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10 from the 46. About 3 minutes to go here. Brainerd fakes the handoff, keeps it left. He's rolling left. He's got some space. He's rumbling forward, has a gap, tries to get through a couple defenders, and he's pushed out of bounds near the Portage 25-yard line.
And next week, these Indians travel to Chesterton. It should be an interesting fight. Let's look over at what's happening in the Duland Conference next week. You've got Valparaiso at Crown Point, Michigan City at Lake Central, LaPorte at Maryville, and Chesterton at Portage. And let's look at Northwest Crossroads, what's going on next week when you got Andrean at Highland, Culver Academy at Kankakee Valley, Hanover at Munster, and Lowell at Hobart. That one should be a fun one next week.
So Taiwan takes the handoff and pushes forward for a couple yards there.
Let me figure it out yet, but we'll do that.
Gotcha. As it's 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs, about teasing things here at the conclusion of the night's game. We'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Crowell Companies are the insurance superheroes. Brainerd in shotgun formation as a running back to his right. Tight end in there with him. He hands it off to Will Clark.
I think they got another number 1.
It looks like we got a duplicate number 1. I was going to say that does not look like the 6'4" linebacker Clark, as
no.
The single-digit wearer eventually moves up for a good run and another first down. Keep that one handy.
Yeah, right. The read has been quite a one brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Maryville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
So Brainerd has a running back to his left. That is Tanner Rawls. He hands it off, fakes the handoff to Rawls. He keeps it, tries to evade a defender, but he is swallowed up there by Tayshawn Hayes, doing a good job getting in the backfield and bringing down the quarterback as we're approaching the 1 minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
This second half has taken less than 50% of the first half in terms of time.
Less time than the first quarter.
Yeah, it's been. Yes, it has actually.
Yeah.
Which
so there was a lot of stoppage, a lot of passing, a lot of scoring in that first quarter.
Exactly.
All right, so the one I have to find yet is the play of the game. What are you thinking?
I'm going to say the Jacob Jones run for it was 80 yards. I want to say, or 85 yards.
Okay. Did Jacob Jones also have a pick that he got caught by the quarterback?
Yeah,
he did. He did.
Okay, a pick. Give him a pick as well. Guess what? You can start with the first one. We've got our guy.
So I would say so.
Let's see. Nope. Right here.
All right, here we go. It's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 o'clock in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. The Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight was Jacob Jones with that big interception and the long touchdown run for the Bulldogs.
He had an 85-yard touchdown run and also a 66-yard pass from Noah Ehrlich to have another score. So we got two touchdowns and a pick, which he got caught back from behind by the quarterback.
Man, you will not let him forget that one, man.
Cody Young caught him at about the 15-yard line. So that is our Lantern Man superhero of the game, Jacob Jones.
Not a bad day for the senior, playing on both sides of the ball and making his presence felt as the next
blue-collar player of the game.
Oh, the blue-collar player of the game. We will, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the blue-collar Boilermakers Local 374 blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was
Will Clark with the scoop and score. Great job. I think Larry Ellison has something to worry about because it looks like Will Clark could be doing some tailback over there. He had a great job, scooped it up, just ball laid out on the ground. Clark picks it up and scampers 30 yards, puts on some jets that I never saw a linebacker have before, and put in the score. To go along with that, he did have quite a few tackles throughout the evening. So Will Clark is our blue-collar player of the game.
And now it's time to name the Proud Union home play of the game, presented by IKORCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. So that Proud Union home play of the game was?
We're going to go with Landon Delich with the 22-yard pass reception from Noah Ehrlich that came with 18 seconds left on 4th and 22 with 18 seconds left to end the half, and that was one of the last scores of tonight's game. That came at, like I said, 18.9 seconds left in the second quarter.
So that will just about do it here in Portage. Big thanks to everyone involved with tonight's broadcast. For Chris Mears, our executive producer, Rich Castillo, Claude Martinez, Jack Thiel. The broadcast crew was myself, Leo Staudaher, Jay Simmons, Rich Novak, Justin Cole, and Milton Johnson were helping us out on site here. Special thanks to the coaches from both sides, Craig Bazia from Crown Point, Roy Richards from Portage, the athletic directors, Bill DeRolla and Brett St. Germain. And viewers can find this broadcast on youtube.com/regionsports, facebook.com/regionsports, regionsports.com, and IHSAATV.com. You've been watching Game Night, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.